Okay, I'm going to show off why TempleOS is better than Unix. So first of all, let's say I64. The command line feeds into a C compiler line by line. It's HolyC. Anyway, so we can enter a function and it will compile incrementally for I equals 1, I less or equal to n. I'm gonna, okay. Now if it sends a string to standard out, if it's like a printf. And we will return n. Now let's say count to 10. And this answer value is the result. So if I say 5 plus 7, we get 12. Okay, so it's a any statement outside of a function executes immediately. And the function is stored in well, this is the local symbol table. Anyway, so we can unassemble the function, and it's 64-bit assembly code. I did a compiler, assembler, unassembler, and it has source debugging. So this uses local register variables, n and I. This is 64-bit assembly, and you can see the string got it called malloc to place the code, and then it put the string data afterward. So it compiles function by function, and any statement outside a function executes immediately. So if it feeds into a C compiler, okay, so this is hello world, isn't that funny? So we say pound include. I think we can just say test1. So we got hello. Now we can hit carriage return and include, and that does that. Now if we go in there and what if we do that? I'm going to hit F5. That's like the IDE. Okay, so it did that. So now we're going to look at LS. Linux people like LS. We're going to make a function that has a mask. I use 8-bit characters instead of 7-bit. That's pretty funny. If you want to see what Control-Alt-A, you can use symbols like the IBM characters, theta and stuff as variable names. Anyway, so files find is like find first, find next, except the way we operate is we do everything at once. We load whole files and we load the whole directory tree. So what this is going to do is files find is going to get a list of a linked list of. We can look at the structure. So it has a full name. That's kind of a cool feature. Full path name. And then it has the next in the chain, the parent, and then a subdirectory. So we're telling it to do recursion and to just return files. So if you get rid of directories, then it's just a linked list. So we're going to hit carriage return, include. Then we can say ls. Let's look for ls test. Okay, now it's recursive. Anyway, ls. How about /star? Let's see what that does. Okay, that's pretty funny. That's my screenshots for my Anyway, so ls. Now this is everything under the current directory. There's all my songs and stuff from this is my account directory. Anyway, so now we're going to look at, you know, the Apple II had a command line HGR and stuff like that. I wanted to give that level of simplicity. So you can put, we're writing to the persistent. I can put a circle on the screen with one line of code. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? Let me see. So now let's edit Olympics.cpp. If it ends in Z, it's stored compressed. It's stored and when it's loaded, it's uncompressed automatically if it ends in Z. So we're going to do and you can put graphics in source code. So we hit Control R, make sprite, and we'll do a width 5, and we'll draw a circle. Now you can hit Control Alt Z to zoom the screen at any time, any place. And if you hit Control and then left grab, you can pan the screen at any time. So now we're going to come over here, and this is the vectors 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're going to come over here to sprite edit, shift points. You know, I think they should have okay, so now we're going to put colors in. Colored, let's make that North America should be red, like Native Americans. Europe should be blue, just because whoops, I can edit, cut and paste over here. Blue, where's the red? Anyway, I'm gonna insert Asia should be yellow. Oops. And South America should be green. And Africa should be black. Australia just kind of got screwed. Anyway, I didn't put them in the right order. Anyway, I'm not going to mess around with that. So now we can put graphics in source code. We can say sprite, and it's going to send it to the command line. Control R, pointer to sprite number 1, and we'll put some carriage returns. So now we include this. Then we can say OLYMPICS, Olympics. Okay, or we can put, in here we can say Olympics. We can do this a couple times. So anyway, now we can do graffiti at the command line. Here, if you want, you can hit this terminal button. I killed it on purpose. Now we go Control R, make sprite. So you can put in your source code, you can make flowcharts in your source code. You can put links in your source code. I'm going to say color red, width 5, poly point. So it's kind of a layer on top. It's vector, it doesn't have boundaries. And you can use a clipboard and put it on a clipboard and go put it in your, we can put this in here. We can, they have an origin but no boundary, unless we convert them to bitmap. So shift points, oops, I didn't want to do that. I want to shift origin. So anyway, so I made a compiler, assembler, unassembler. So I just want to show you one more thing. Here's a, no, I want to show you a couple more things. Here's an 8-core flight simulator, 7-core, 6-core. I'm using 1 core for the frame grabber, I think. I don't know. Sometimes that gets messed up. So let's see. How about I want to show one more thing. If I say Control L, and then I say text, and then I say define string company. Okay, so this is a text entry. But it's dynamic. If I say pound define, oh, I have a couple more things I want to show you guys. Pound define DD company Acme. So that it's looking in the symbol table every time it updates the window. And if we change this to Acme 2, now we can put this in our source code. And oh, I didn't do the font demo. Anyway, so anyway, you can make a, it's just kind of neat. Anyway, here's a font demo. So one of the things that distinguishes, my inspiration was the Commodore 64, and you could modify everything. So one of the things I remember was class rep dynamic. On the Commodore, you had a lot of, this is kind of like an IDE debugger. The command line can have active text. This is kind of like what we saw earlier. So here's the task registers. FS is the task record. Anyway, so here's the registers, and anyway, so you can modify the font. Here we're saving the font is 64-bit, 8x8, so it's 64 bits. We're putting a bit pattern, and then we're exiting. So we just changed, you can see the system font everywhere got changed. And the code is really nice, it's just a get char. So anyway, and it say put it back.